This is Making Stitches, and this time we're off for a day trip to Yarndale, which returned on the 25th and 26th of September. It was an emotional return to the Skipton Auction Mart, especially for one of the festival organisers, Carole Rennison.
It's absolutely amazing. It's spine-tingling, really, to think about it. Gosh, it's almost tearful, actually, to think kind of what we've been through and the uncertainty of it all. And even mid this year, it's can we, can't we, shall we, shan't we, how's things going to be, and just the unknown. So to actually be here on the Saturday, amongst all the exhibitors and the visitors, thank you for coming. It's truly amazing. It really is. Thank you to everybody.
Hello and welcome to Making Stitches. I'm Lindsay. Thanks so much for listening today. I've been really looking forward to being able to share this episode with you. Back in the spring of 2020, I interviewed Carole Rennison, who you just heard from a moment ago, about Yarndale and the Yarndale Creative Project for 2020, which was to raise funds for Martin House Children's Hospice. At the time, the hope was that Yarndale would be held as normal in September last year, and I had hoped to make the trip over to Skipton in North Yorkshire to bring you an episode of Making Stitches from there. Sadly, as was the case with so many events, Yarndale, as we know it, wasn't able to go ahead because of the pandemic. It did happen in a virtual format with Yarndale at home, which was a very welcome diversion after months of being stuck indoors. Fast forward past further lockdowns and months of uncertainty, and amazingly, Yarndale 2021 did go ahead in real life at Skipton Auction Mart, and with COVID restrictions. Visitors were encouraged to take a lateral flow test before going. Entry was limited to certain time slots, and tickets had to be bought in advance. Mask wearing was encouraged, and there was hand sanitizer in abundance. There were also fewer people there than normal, which helped allay fears and anxiety of mixing again after so long at home. Whilst it felt odd to be at an event with other people after so long avoiding such things, it didn't feel too big or too busy. It was great to be back mooching from stall to stall in the Auction Mart animal pens and being inspired by beautiful things. Anyway, enough from me. I'm sure you'd like to hear from the actual event and the people I encountered on my day trip to Yarndale. So here goes. Well, the day has finally come. It's Saturday the 25th of September. It's the first day of Yarndale 2021 and I'm currently in the beautiful, tranquil Airville Park, just walking my way up from Skipton Town Centre to the Skipton Auction Mart, which is the home of Yarndale. I'd love it if you came along with me to enjoy some of the wonders that Yarndale 2021 has to offer. So, ladies, I've just met you in the queue. Where have you come from today?
Irby, about 7 or 8 miles down the road.
Oh, yes, I just drove through there actually on the way.
Yeah.
and I come through from Leeds.
And is this it's not your first time at Yarndale?
No, I've been several times.
Yeah.
Too many times. Too much wool at home now.
Well, yes, that is a side effect of a visit to Yarndale.
It is.
What is it about Yarndale that makes you keep coming back?
I just love to go around and stroke the wool, the texture, the feel of it. Yeah. And everybody's friendly.
Yeah. I just love to see the different wools and how clever people are, and I just go home thinking, gosh, I've got to try harder.
I know, it's really quite mind-boggling, some of the things that people do.
Things they can do.
I've seen some beautiful knitted cardigans going past with intricate designs woven through, and it's just amazing. Queue's moving. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Fine, thank you. Thank you very much. Tickets inside.
Can we come in the side, ladies? Gentlemen. Oh, sorry, sir. Didn't see you there.
I'm just literally through the front door. The first person I see that I recognise is Yvonne from Bonnie's Little Crafts, who had this amazing campaign 5 years ago when I last came to make how many hearts for Yarndale?
7,000 hearts. 7,000. We were very lucky. We managed to make 7,418, I think it was.
Wow.
amazing. We gave out so much love. Unfortunately, there was still about 400 left over towards the end, maybe 500 left towards the end, because we didn't know there was another entrance. Oh no! So it was like, no. So what we did is at the end on the Sunday, what we decided to do is we collected them all and then we divided them into two and we just handed them to British Heart Foundation and Sense Charity. And yeah, we just left them with the love and we just told them to do whatever they wanted to do, sell or just bob them into somebody's bag. So it was lovely.
Fabulous. Well, I've still got mine that I got.
Yay! Honestly, I was so tearful. I thought, is this what Lucy from Attic 24 feels like when these parcels are coming through the door? I think yours was the second one I got.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think. I can't think now. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the First Lady, but I'll have her somewhere. But yes, it was quite emotional to see them all there, and I lovingly looked after them until we got them here. So it was really fun, really fun. But we haven't done anything like that since.
No.
But this time, you never know.
But there is a project you've been working on for today. Tell me about it.
Yes, so we got a lovely knitted blanket, all made into little squares. The lovely ladies sewn them all together. So it was donated to my shop in Sense Charity, and we thought, right, okay, we'll see what we can do to upcycle it. So I attached a few bits. But I really want to know who she is. I want to know who is the lovely lady that donated it, because it really has it's got a second lease of life.
And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, but I can't take full credit. I need this other lady to be able to come and stand in and take credit for it, because it is actually just, it's lovely and bright and happy, which is how we want it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's in the hub, just underneath all the beautiful Yarndale bunting.
Oh, I know, the ever-famous bunting. I think we need to see if we can make more and more and more to the point where you can't see the ceiling. That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
That'd be quite a job to put it up. I imagine it's quite a big enough job already.
Yeah, we'll need at least another 2 or 3 years, I think, maybe just to get to that point. But that would be lovely though, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, well, Yvonne, it's been an absolute treat. I can't believe I
feel like nipping myself. In fact, I'll nip myself. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely to see you. And I want to hug you, but we're not allowed.
No,
We've got to be good. We've got to be good. We've got to be good. Maybe in a couple of years we'll have a bigger hug.
That sounds like a plan.
Lovely
Definitely.
to meet you, lovely to meet you. And you've got your own podcast. Air high five, air high five. Yay!
I've just been stopped in my tracks by the size of your crochet hook.
That's really kind of you. These have been going on for quite some time. It was my dad and I that started this. I basically have loads and loads of yarn everywhere, and I wanted to knit it all up, but there was oddballs. Like I might have 4 or 5 of one colour, but then one of another and things like that. So I thought if I combine them together to make a big strand, I need a big pair of knitting needles to get a big throw made, a big blanket. And he always tinkered with things and made things. So he had an old broom handle handy, and I said to him, will you make me a pair of needles? And he laughed and everything, but he made them. And off I went and I made this first blanket. But I've always worked with yarn, I've always worked demonstrating as well, teaching people to knit and things. So this particular day, I was at Yarndale, and it was the first Yarndale ever. And I said to him, make us some more needles. And he laughed and thought it was funny. So I brought them along to Yarndale. Cut a long story short, they sold out within literally 10 minutes. So I'm like on the phone, Dad, make some more, get some more made. So he started making some more. I got them on Amazon. It sounds dead easy, but it took me a long time to get there, but I got them on Amazon. They started selling. He never thought they'd sell, and we just started a little business from it. Then we got asked for crochet hooks, so he started to work the crochet hook. It took him a year to get it just right, because he was very much a perfectionist, so he had to get it just right. Then they launched. Got those on Amazon, they started selling like mad. Then people wanted shorter needles, so we took some shorter ones, which I call accessory needles. So like for hats, scarves, things like you don't need as many stitches on. Cable needle then, obviously to do the cables. And then I got some demonstrating work actually with a friend in America. Saw the Tunisian, they're mad on Tunisian in America. So I said, right, we need a Tunisian, and they did laugh big time at that. After that, he said, you'll never sell them. I'll give you £1 for every one you sell. And I'm like, that's no. And he went like, no. Anyway, they did. They started selling. As soon as I started demonstrating them, they were selling. And we've got this little niche line now. Sadly, I lost him now. He died nearly 3 years ago. But when he was cooler, he knew he hadn't long, and he taught me how to make them, and I actually make them myself now. With the help of my husband, he helps me out. But I'm in the workshop all the time now making them, and that's what I do, just sell them on Amazon and my website, and occasionally on TV. It's called Hochanda, but it's called the Craft Store now. And that's about it, yeah.
What an amazing story.
Thank
From
you.
a broom handle.
From a broom handle.
To an amazing business.
Yeah, yeah.
What a wonderful gift your dad gave you
Yes,
to give
yeah.
you that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, I was really emotional when he first went, and I didn't think I could keep it going, but I could just feel him saying, well, we worked hard at that, Joe, we've got to keep going.
That's wonderful. So what size is
25 millimetre this one is, but we do make bigger if people want them. We do make for another company, can't say who it is, but a wholesale company. And I'm trying to get to do more wholesale now, so I am open if anybody wants to do that. So at the moment it's all 25, but I can do really any size you want, really, because I just get the wood and then we have to turn it and use traditional methods. So yeah, basically what size you want. But I think when you get to like 50, they get a bit too hard to handle anyway.
Well, I should imagine you'd need muscles to be
honest. Yeah, they start to get heavy, and things. I found people have asked me 35s, 40s, and I've made them, but they've always gone back to a 25, because I think the yarns that we've got out there work best for a 25.
And you've got your own yarn here as well.
Yeah, I've got my own yarn, yeah. This is a special, it's merino yarn. I particularly went for merino because I can't wear wool or anything, it itches, and this doesn't bother me. It's hyperallergenic, so I can wear it next to my skin. I thought I can't sell something that I can't wear, so that's why I went for the merino. And yeah, that's my sort of little range to go with it, because obviously you need something to work with your tools, and that's sort of happened. I'm a pattern, I can write patterns as well. I'm a pattern writer, and I designed for a big company, a big yarn company, so I've sort of got a lot of skills that way, but it's the tools that I love more than anything. Because I remember him saying to me, let's make something that everybody needs, because they all need a tool to use that wool up. And that's his philosophy. Use all your stash up. There's never more a more sustainable thing than your own stash, really.
Absolutely.
So get it all out and get it used, because how long do we keep it sat there? Just looking at it. Don't get me wrong, I've got one myself that I get out and stroke every now and again, But it's you can make, like, I think I had a lady, she got her grandma's stash, and they were her colours, and they were for her, she couldn't think of a jumper or anything in them, but she made it like a memory blanket, and put them all together. And actually, the colours what she thought wouldn't go did when they were blended together. So you do get a surprise sometimes from what you do. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. And your business is Dewey?
It's called Dewey, yeah, or Dewey Jumbo Craft Tools, if you want its long name.
Thanks so much for speaking to me.
No, thank you very much. It's been an honour.
As well as many stalls selling yarn, craft kits and tools, there were demonstrations, workshops, talks and a series of pre-recorded interviews with Shapier's bloggers. The interviews were hosted by Matt Farci from Crojo.Life, and after watching a fascinating chat between him and Carole Rennison from New Leaf Designs, I caught up with Matt for a quick chat. First of all, Matt, thank you very much for agreeing to speak to me for making
More
stitches.
More than welcome.
We've just had a lovely film with Carmen from New Leaf Designs. What a fascinating lady she is.
Yeah, Carmen is one of those kind of rare breeds that she does it all. She's a fantastic crocheter, fantastic knitter, and then dabbles in all of these other kind of things. As we saw in the video, she's doing a lot of natural dyeing, spinning, all sorts. So yeah, Carmen's fantastic.
Now, I watched the Yarndale at home last year, and you had the pleasure of being able to speak to so many interesting people over the weekend. What's Yarndale like for you?
Yarndale, for me, it's really about community. So being able to connect with other enthusiasts is really what it's all about. It's lovely walking around the stalls and buying new yarn and sampling all of the great products, but for me, it's really about the interaction. So, as you mentioned, last year we did it all online, which was great. Wasn't quite the same though. So it's such a joy to be able to do it this year in person. The interviews are still not in person, but connecting with people like yourself today, you know, means a lot. And I think for a lot of crafters, I think crafting is not just about creating a project, but is about the community spirit. So that's Yarndale for me, yeah.
Absolutely. It's quite a solitary activity, really, isn't it? We all do it in our own homes, but to be able to come to a place like Yarndale and meet like-minded people who are as passionate about our little niche hobby, really.
Yeah.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It really is, and you know, I think you just kind of capped it off beautifully. It's really about that kind of connecting with other people over something you're so enthusiastic about. Yeah.
Now, you yourself, you have your own Instagram channels and your blog and Crojo.Life.
Yeah.
It's changed direction recently for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, in terms of crafting, it is quite an interesting thing, really, because I started off about 10 years ago with a blog. Years ago, it was called According to Matt, and it wasn't meant to be about crochet, really, but you know, I posted my first crochet project and finally got a comment from someone that wasn't my mum. And I was like, okay, people are interested. So I've been blogging for a while. But during the pandemic, I personally, I struggled a little bit with things like my profession at the time was a professional dancer, theatres closed down. And that was pretty hard for me, if I'm honest. And so then turning back to crafting and blogging, was a great outlet and a great kind of source of inspiration and creativity. So I decided during the pandemic to create Crojo.Life, which is much more about community and connecting with other people, exactly what Yarndale is, really. So I'm in the process of launching that. It should have been finished a good few months ago. The website's pretty much done, but I just haven't had the time to finally press go and be available to launch it. Because, as I mentioned, I was a dancer, but the pandemic changed that for me, and I now work full-time for Shapiers, the yarn brand. So the reason the blog hasn't quite happened yet is just everything else changed. I moved house, changed career. So it is coming. It will be happening, and I'm really excited to get back into blogging again, actually. I miss it.
Yes, but to be able to be an ambassador for Shapiers, what an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. As I said, my training and my career has always been in musical theatre. And to get to the age I am and kind of go, okay, I need to change course, I need to change career, change direction, is a big thing. And I did have a moment of going, okay, what are my skill sets and how can I apply them? And also, what industries am I genuinely interested in? Because after having a job that I truly enjoyed, the thought of then doing a 9 to 5 in something that I have no interest in just felt like such an awful fate, really. So when Shapiers, I approached Shapiers and said, like, look, is there anything going on? And at the time there wasn't. And then a few weeks later, I had a very lovely conversation with someone, and they had made a little space. And so I'm very lucky to be, as I said, working full-time for them in an industry and for a company that I genuinely have passion and enthusiasm for. So I'm very lucky in that sense.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend here.
Thank you so much.
Yarndale, it's been a real delight to meet you.
You too. It's as I said, such a thrill to connect with people and great to chat with you today. So thank you.
After a chat with Matt, it was back out for another explore around the many beautiful stalls. My first port of call was at Allium Threads, run by Nikki Miles. Nikki, your stall is beautiful.
Thank you.
I see that you say that you use all natural dyes, but what a plethora of colour there is.
Yes, it's amazing the amount of different colours you can get from natural dyes just by varying them, mixing them together and varying the acidity and temperature and so on.
That's marvellous. What kind of things do you use to get these colours?
Well, I try and use things from as close to home as possible. So I grow some of my own dye plants. So I grow woad and weld, coreopsis and other things. And I also try and forage things locally. Particularly, I enjoy picking things when there's been a storm and you can go and pick up some things and do something useful with things that would otherwise go to waste. but I do quite a lot of light fast testing to make sure that whatever I'm using is going to be suitable and last for a long time.
What a truly sustainable way of colouring yarn and fabric as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I try to make it as sustainable as possible, use as little water as possible, and reuse my dye baths until there's absolutely nothing left in them as well.
And what brought you into this line of business?
My mum used to do spinning and knitting and crochet, and she showed me how to do natural dyeing when I was really small, probably only 5 or 6. And then it's something I've picked up over the years and gone back to time and time again. And then a few years ago decided I'd like to try and do a little bit more with it and try and actually be able to sell some.
That's wonderful. Is this your first time at Yarndale, or are you a repeat visitor?
No, it's my first time at Yarndale, and it's fabulous. I've been here as a visitor, but it's my first time actually selling here.
And what's it like being on the other side of things?
It's really interesting. It's a very different experience, I think, not being able to sort of have a look round and see what's going on and see what other people are doing. But yeah, it's really interesting, and it's such a lovely show, such a lovely warm place, Yorkshire as well. You always feel very welcome.
Absolutely. Oh, thanks very much, Nikki.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
My name's Sarah Paul.
And you're from
Bigwigs Angora. That's right.
Now, when people think about yarn, quite often it's the usual sheep, maybe alpacas, but Angora, the beautiful rabbits. As an Angora rabbit mum myself,
right, very
it's fascinating to see the beautiful yarn you've got made from these.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, are you a regular at Yarndale?
I am, yes. I've been here since the beginning, as it were. I'm very local to Yarndale, so it's great to be able to support it. Yeah.
Wonderful. How many rabbits do you have?
At the moment, I have about 60. I have had more than that, but I'm now a grandmother and spend more time doing other things. So 60 is about right for me at the minute.
Tell me about the fibre of Angora and how, what it can be used for.
Angora fibre is actually a hair, so it's a hollow hair and very smooth. And because it's hollow, it's very warm and it's very light, and it makes it ideal for small sort of wrist warmers and scarves. You can use it for bigger garments, but it is really, really warm, so then you'd be quite limited to wearing it in the middle of winter.
And what's Yarndale like for you as a trader?
Very exciting, just lovely to meet all your customers that perhaps you've only spoken to online all year. Meet new people, introduce them to Angora, because a lot of people have never worked with Angora, don't realise it's come from rabbits, how you keep them and all the rest of it. I also love to go around at the end of the day and be inspired by all the other stalls, because it's just mind-blowing.
It is an assault on the senses.
It is, absolutely. Always makes me feel slightly inadequate, but I think that's the inspiring part of it. You can always look to do new things.
My name's Kate.
You have a beautiful stall here. You're a textile artist.
I am, yes. Textile artist, and I do hand-painted yarns as well.
What's Yarndale like as a festival for you?
This is the first time I've ever done it, so I was really excited. I was disappointed last year when it was cancelled because I'd got in. So it's been absolutely amazing. It's been really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Tell me a bit about your work.
My work, I hand dye all of my yarns, and I use lots and lots of different textures, and from that I've created lots of kits that incorporate these textures of the hand dyed, hopefully just to introduce people to creative embroidery.
It's absolutely fascinating. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Flowers. I do a lot of walking, I take a lot of photographs, I do a lot of thread packs that have got all the flowers in them, so yeah, it's definitely flowers and wildlife where all my inspiration's from, and I use all natural yarns.
That's wonderful, Kate. Well, I hope you have a really fruitful weekend.
Thank you so much.
I'm with Ruth and Jenny from Ammonite Yarns. You're flying the flag for Wales, I can see behind
quite
you.
Quite literally, yeah.
You've come quite a distance to be here today.
We have. We've come all the way up from Pontyclun in South Wales, and it was how many hours drive? Because the M6 was its usual self. Yes.
Indeed. But you're here now, and your stall looks amazing.
Yeah. We're having lots of fun, aren't we? Yeah.
What kind of things have you got on your stall today?
Oh, we've got a fair number of kits. So the kits are mainly in natural yarns. We've also got it's a shame you can't do a picture, we've got our signature ammonite kit here, which is quite an easy kit to do. It's over there. Yep. And then, what else have we got? We've got our own designs of blankets, so it's our newest design, we've got it here as well, which will be on Ravelry when we get back, and on our website to buy. And that's done in West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab. So we absolutely love the Colour Lab, so we're trying to persuade people that that's the one they need to knit with. Yep. And we've got some designs from one of our crochet teachers back in South Wales, and she's done a couple of blankets and cushions. So we've got those as well. So a fair amount.
That's great. And then we've also got with us Michelle from Woolly Wumpkins, who is our sort of resident hand dyer in the shop, and she's brought a beautiful array of yarns to share with everyone.
Yeah, I can see it. It's a plethora. It's like a rainbow, really.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, well, I hope you have a really successful Yarndale. This is your first Yarndale,
It's our first Yarndale, yes.
I hope you have a really successful weekend. Thank you.
I'm Michelle Lewis, and I run Woolly Wumpkins.
Tell me a bit about your business, please.
Well, we're based in the Rhondda Valleys, and I dye pure wools, mainly merino, or merino with nylon, because that's become my favourite. I also do dye some blue-faced Leicester, or I'll dye the local yarns for the farmers in my area, as and when they ask me to.
Where do you get your inspiration from? Because the colours are just stunning.
Well, really, you can look no further than what's around you in creation. You know, you go out into the valleys, and with the amount of greens that are there, then I go to the sea and the coast, and I see all the blues that are there, and that's really where all my inspiration comes from. And if I'm ever stumped for colours, I just go for a walk or go for a drive, and I'm soon back in the dye room.
And how's today been for you this weekend with Yarndale and being able to see people again face to face?
It's been very nice to see people. I've met some people that I've only met ever before online, as this is quite a journey for us. It has been nice to meet up with people and to see people being able to mix with each other and see the yarn, touch the yarn. But yeah, it's been really nice to see that again. I miss that, because when you're just working from home on your own, it can, well, as everybody knows now, it can get a bit monotonous. So even just sitting back and watching the people walk past, enjoying themselves, has been a really good experience today.
I've just come down one of the walkways and stumbled across the Moorit stall. And Alyson, how lovely to meet you.
Yes, you too. Hello. It's so nice to see you in person.
Absolutely. We've been communicating for a while online, and it's nice to actually see you in real life.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of people in real life. Just at an actual show in person, it's amazing.
Now you're here with your brand new Moorit Magazine. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so what I've been telling people is that I made this magazine because there are other high quality indie knitting magazines that are either completely all knitting patterns or mostly knitting patterns with maybe some crochet in it, and I wanted that but for crochet. So this is the first issue of Moorit. It's all just beautifully designed crochet garments and accessories in really, really like lovely yarns and fibers.
And how's the reception been?
It's been so good. Just lots of crocheters coming up saying kind of thank you, like I wanted this magazine too. Lots of knitters come by and point to, I've got a few different designs. They're convinced it's knitting, and then you tell them, no, that's crochet, and just the look of shock on their faces is amazing.
How wonderful. Well, you're spreading the word.
Yes, absolutely. I think I had somebody at a different show who went away, and she literally said, well, my eyes have been opened, so there you go.
Oh, well, that's fabulous. Well, I'm sure you'll open an awful lot more eyes before the weekend's finished.
Thank you very much.
My name's Judith.
And Judith, your stall buttoned up.
It is buttoned up, and I hand make porcelain buttons. Most of them made on my kitchen table and decorated in front of the TV at night.
They're absolutely beautiful. I'm particularly drawn to the botanical ones.
That goes back to my scientist days. So I actually trained my degrees in botany, and I went on to be a microscopist. So I've always had a passion for plants, and that's why I use them to decorate the buttons.
Well, nature got it right, didn't it?
It did, and there's a lot of beauty in things that people don't notice. So things like nettles have got the most amazing veining on the back. And one of my best sellers is hemlock buttons, because the hemlock leaves are beautifully lacy.
Wonderful. How did you end up down the path of making buttons?
Because I'm a knitter and I could never find buttons I liked. So you buy £100 worth of yarn, you make yourself a cardigan, and you're expected to put 5p buttons onto it, which are plastic. So I just wanted to make something that was nicer to put on my garments. So I have a husband who pots as a hobby. He has a kiln, so I started making them out of porcelain, which works really well because it's durable, it's strong, and you can get the sort of texture and fineness of detail with it that you can't with some of the other clays.
What a wonderful thing to do.
Thank you. I do enjoy it. It keeps me off the streets.
I'm with Carole Rennison, one of the organisers of Yarndale, and she's on her own stall, Hooked by Design. Carole, having spoken to you twice for making stitches already, it's lovely to meet you in person.
Yes, lovely to see you, Lindsay. Absolutely fantastic to see you in the flesh and seeing your lovely crochet cardigan.
Oh, well, thank you very
much. Which I presume
much.
You've made yourself.
Naturally.
Isn't it great to be amongst creative people and seeing what they're wearing, seeing the garments that they've spent money on and bought the yarn, and I just love to see what people are wearing. Yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic.
There's a couple of jumpers that I've really got a hankering for that
Yes.
have passed me several times. I'm kind of following them up the alleyway.
Absolutely, and every time I see somebody in a wonderful homemade creation, I just can't help commenting and saying, that looks fantastic, and
I know.
well done.
Quite a few strangers have approached me and said
Yes.
how much they like my
Yes,
cardigan.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, I didn't expect that. Thank you very much. Well, it's wonderful to be here, Carole. I was so hoping I'd be able to come along last year, and of course, COVID got in the way.
Yes.
How nice to be here
Yes.
with other people and enjoying such creativity again.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. It's spine-tingling, really, to think about it. Gosh, it's almost tearful, actually, to think kind of what we've been through and the uncertainty of it all. And even mid this year, it's can we, can't we, shall we, shan't we, how's things going to be, and just the unknown. So to actually be here on the Saturday amongst all the exhibitors and the visitors, thank you for coming. It's truly amazing. It really is. Thank you to everybody.
Yeah, I can see you getting quite emotional at it.
It is very emotional.
Yeah. Well,
Now you've said it, I haven't until this moment actually thought about it. You know, you do think about it, but you're just in the throes of everything and, you know, making everything happen, and it's not until you've asked me kind of how it is, it just, the emotion comes to the surface, yeah, and it's fantastic to be here, yeah.
There's just been so, like you said, it's the uncertainty, isn't it? You've not been able to plan, you know, even before coming, having to take a COVID test, not knowing in the morning whether actually you're going to be able to be allowed to come or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've tried to make everybody feel safe by having the timed slots, which I think has worked really well. It was a nice entrance into the show. There's a lovely calm feel about it. Everybody seems relaxed and happy, and just great to see all the exhibitors and their products and see the wool and touch it if you can, instead of looking at everything online. It's just inspirational, motivational and wonderful.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I'm a yarnaholic and I love it.
Yeah, well, that's it. You can't beat actually seeing the colours.
No,
we've had 18 months of having to buy yarn and things, supplies online. But you actually see it, feel it, and it just makes all the
chatting to the
difference.
exhibitors and learning what they've been through and how pleased they are to be back with the customers, because a lot of us are little businesses working at home, and I just said to one of my customers, you just wonder sometimes what it's all about, and you need to get out and get that feedback, and then it's just, you just think, I'm on the right track and I'm doing the right thing. But we need each other.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, Carole, it's been an absolute delight to meet you, for real.
Yes, you too. Thank you for coming, and thank you for taking the time to have a chat with us. Yeah.
Oh, my absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And I'm hankering after your cardigan too.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
thank you.
Granny squares galore.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was quite a day. It's just gone 5 o'clock. I've just left Yarndale after being there for 5.5 hours. Don't know where the time went. It was just fascinating. The interesting talks, the beautiful, beautiful yarn, and the lovely people that I've met today have just been absolutely amazing. And very appropriately, I'm standing on the steps just above Yarndale, just above the Skipton Auction Mart, on the yarn walk, looking at the lovely crocheted bunting that was made a few years ago for Yarndale. And I'm next to a field of sheep, so that seems like a really appropriate point at which to bring my Yarndale adventure to an end. What a treat it's been. I'm so glad I was able to make the journey over the Pennines for this today. It's been absolutely super. You can probably tell I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Yarndale 2021. The time just flew. There was so much to see and so many lovely yarny folk to speak to. I'd been to Yarndale once before back in 2016, and it was wonderful to be back there again. Thank you to everyone who spoke to me for this episode of Making Stitches. I've included links to the businesses and people I spoke to in the show notes for this episode. If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, perhaps you'd consider leaving a review on your favourite podcast app. Nedlaw83 did just that, giving Making Stitches 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and describing it as a fantastic podcast full of inspiring interviews and saying they definitely recommend it to others. Thank you so much for that. You can also support Making Stitches by buying me a coffee or supporting the Making Stitches shop. There are links to these in the show notes too. Thank you so much for listening. I've really enjoyed working on this episode, and I must apologise for my slightly croaky, deep voice. I'm just getting over a rather nasty cold, but thank you for sticking with it nonetheless. I'll be back again in 2 weeks' time with another inspiring maker story for you, and until next time, thanks very much for listening. Keep safe and enjoy your crafting.